So today we got the banner previews for Raiden Shogun and Kamisato Ayato. Now with these two banners that are coming up in the second half of 3.3, there is a lot to talk about in terms of the units that are on the banner and the two units themselves. Now starting with the Raiden Shogun, of course, Electro Archon, very busted, very good, a must have on the account in all honesty. For those people that don't have Raiden Shogun, I do very much recommend picking her up if you can. And the fact that Kujoh Sara is on the banner is a really good thing, because as for Kujoh Sara and also Goro, those two were joined at the hip with the banner that they released on. So Goro usually shows up only on Ito's banner, and Kujoh Sara only shows up when Raiden Shogun appears. So this is your best time to be getting constellations for Kujoh Sara, and I'll be explaining why in a good moment. But Archon, Raiden Shogun, really good, a must-have on the account, a game changer, and overall, you can build so many teams with this unit. She is insane. Rosaria is more of a better, I guess you could say, pickup or better duo to have with Ayato, because she is going to fulfill that cryo applicator role that Ayato needs for freeze teams if you so choose to use it. And then there's other uses for Rosaria, but for the main bulk of it, it is going to be giving you crit rate and the periodic cryo application to enemies in a wide area. And then for the other banner unit, which is Sayu, of course, nothing crazy, not really a crazy pick or a crazy team that you can make with her regarding these two, Raiden Shogun and Ayato. She's just there. She's just the Genshin taxi. Basically, you use her skill to get around better and faster. So let's go ahead and talk about these two units that we have here, Kamisato Ayato and Raiden Shogun. So for Kamisato Ayato and Raiden Shogun, these two characters are by far, I guess you could say, one of the more fun characters, both of them. Ayato and Raiden Shogun. I don't know where she is, but Raiden Shogun, she is really good in terms of her electro off-field application. She has a nasty burst as well, hitting for some of the highest numbers in Genshin. There are a multitude of uses for her. She's a universal battery for many teams. She is a must-have in many teams, and she's a buffer as well with her skill. When you use it, you get a buff for elemental burst team-wide. So there's something to look forward to with this character. Like I said, a must-have in this situation. Ayato, he fulfills the role that a lot of people have, which is the main DPS role. I do have a video talking about Ayato in a little bit more simplified format for you to watch. If you're going to watch the video, it's going to be in one of these corners somewhere. But make sure to go check that out if you're looking to summon for Ayato. Now, are these banners worth summoning for? In my opinion, I do think, because of Kujoh Sara being on the banner, which of course is not going to be a lot of times that she's going to be up, she's going to be your very best pick for Raiden Shogun, because her C6 is going to be a nasty buff for Raiden Shogun and also for other electro units, especially with the damage buff she gives when you are having her on the field as a buffer. As you can see in her C6, she gives an additional 60% crit damage, which is going to be crazy to add on to your team. This is similar to what Faruzan has as her C6, but nonetheless, you want to have C2, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, C2 is going to be making Kujoh Sara a lot more smoother, a lot more easier to play with in order to use her on the team. Before C2, she is very clunky. She is a little harder to use and a little bit less smooth to use, you know, switching around characters and doing your rotations. C2 is what you kind of want to strive for, and C6 is the optimal goal that you want when summoning for this banner. Now, it is hard to get this unit. Since she appears on so little banners, Kujoh Sara is very hard to get to C6. I literally have a C2 Raiden because she would not drop. So it is very possible that you could go home with maybe C2, maybe even less, depending on your luck. All the luck to everyone trying to pull C6 Kujoh Sara, because man, it is rough, and I mean very rough. But you know, since she's on the banner right now, if you don't have Raiden Shogun, if you don't have Ayato, this is your best time to be pulling her. Rosaria, although a very old unit, she still has her uses. She can provide crit rate. She can provide the cryo application that you might need for your teams. This is going to help Ayato very well, because it will add a perma-freeze type comp for his teams that you can use, and overall she could be a very fun unit to play with. Although a little dated, she can still be fun to use. Sayu, as I said, not really a crazy pick. Not really anything, I guess you could say, extravagant for the team that you could put Ayato and Raiden on. More just the Genshin taxi, like I said before. Get from place A to B as fast as you possibly can. If you don't have your Lawn, if you don't have the Wanderer, this is your next best bet. So should you summon on these banners? I say personally yes, because having the Raiden Shogun, if you don't have her on the account already, is a big game changer, especially for the account, because not only is she a battery, she's off-field electro application. She has a nasty burst. She can provide a lot of different uses for a lot of different teams, being a battery, being the main DPS, being the sub DPS. There are many different ways to play the Raiden Shogun. And then Ayato, just an overall fun, nice to play, and easy to use DPS role unit. So if you want to have a unit that's really, really good in AoE, has really good Hydra application, then Ayato is your guy. So both these guys are really, really good in terms of value for their banner. And their banner units are not bad as well, especially with Kujoh Sara being joined to the hip with Raiden Shogun. This is going to be your best time to pick up Constellations, and especially with how she never gets on any banner besides Raiden's. You don't know what her next pairing could be. It could be worse, it could be better. So right now wouldn't be a bad time to stock up on some Kujoh Sara Constellations. Of course, there is going to be another banner alongside these two, which is the weapon banner. Now for the weapon banner, now that there are a lot more characters in the game, there's a lot more premium weapons on the banner than it usually would be. This time is the Haran Gippaku Futsu, sorry if I butchered that name, which is Ayato's signature sword, and the Engulfing Lightning. Now the Engulfing Lightning is a really, really good polearm, because it can be used on many different characters due to the fact that it has energy recharge on it. You can put it on Xiangling, you can put it on Raiden Shogun, and these are going to be absolutely amazing. Having the Engulfing Lightning will change the artifacts that you use on the Raiden Shogun, which I will cover in another video. If you want to learn more about the Raiden Shogun in a very simplified format, I will be making a Raiden Shogun for Dummies video as well, so make sure to be tuned for that. But having the Engulfing Lightning can really change up the way you set your artifacts on, because you will be able to run ER Sands more comfortably, as it will be turned into attack percent with the Engulfing Lightning. Just as I said before, you can use this on Xiangling and other polearm users that rely on energy recharge. So overall, a really good universal polearm, not hyper specialized for Raiden Shogun, but can be used on many other characters. The Haran Gippaku Futsu, if I said that right, is Ayato's signature sword. It gives 30% crit rate, which is not bad. 12% elemental damage bonus, which is really nice. This sword, although is Ayato's signature sword, it's not going to be the very best sword for a lot of different units. It's more going to be a stat stick for different sword units. So having that 30% crit rate is nice, and also getting that 12% all elemental damage bonus is going to be really, really nice as well. So you're going to be really using this for a stat stick rather than to optimize a lot of different DPS's crit ratio. So this is a little bit less favorable of the two weapons that you can get from the banner, but overall the banner value isn't that bad when considering the premium option weapons, which is the Engulfing Lightning and the Haran Gippaku Futsu. So in my opinion, I think both banners are really, really good. I think in the future we might get some nasty banners, especially when you're remembering that Al-Hytham still has to come out. Hu Tao, Yalan still have to get rerun. So if they do get rerun, you know, the Aqua Simulacra and the Staff of Homa could possibly be in the same banner, or they could be in separate banners with other really good premium weapons. So make sure to think about this when you summon for these weapons, because there's a lot of different crazy combinations that can come out. Because there's so many different characters in this game, you could have a lot of crazy, really nice premium weapon banners coming up very, very soon, with all the units that need to rerun, such as Ayaka, Yalan, Hu Tao, all of these other really, really good units. So make sure to stay tuned for all of those banners, because they're going to be absolutely amazing. So other than that, as a summary, Ayato, Raiden Shogun, both really, really good. Raiden Shogun would be the more favorable of the two. Kujoh Sara being part of the banner is a big plus because of her C6 and C2, so you really want to be gunning for her. Rosaria, all nice, a little bit dated, but needs, I guess you could say, has niche uses for her and her teams. Sayu, just a taxi, not really anything special. The 2 weapons on the premium banner, really nice. You're gonna want Engulfing Lightning more. I would say if you have Raiden Shogun already and you have Ayato already, possibly you could probably pull for the weapon banner. You'll probably end up happy either way. Either way as well, if you don't have either of them and you still want to try the weapon banner, if you have enough primos, getting either or won't be a make or break. You won't get shafted in either or because the Engulfing Lightning is really good on different characters. Considering the energy recharge is getting converted to attack, so your artifacts can change a good amount because of so. And then the Haran Gapaku, it's a really good sword, nice stat sync with crit rate and elemental damage bonus. So this is all considering these are some really good banners to come up with. But just like I said, make sure to realize that the next set of banners that could come out, regarding all the characters that could come out, such as Shenhe, Yelan, Hu Tao, Ayaka, all these really cool characters are going to be rerunning very soon, possibly. So the weapon banners for those and the banners with the other 4 stars could be really good, even better than these. So make sure to take that into consideration. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.